Hey folks, how's everybody doing on a Sunday evening, right? So anyway, today I'm going to be making a dish that I have my, you see my Puerto Rican apron. I actually bought this apron a couple years ago when Gilbert and I went to Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico in 1973, a long time ago, right? But I still remember some of it. I got a good memory. So I hadn't gone to Puerto Rico since 1973. And when I met Gilbert, he always talked about going to Puerto Rico, and finally we made it. He made it to Puerto Rico. He took me to Puerto Rico, and we went on the other side of the island, which I've never seen before, and that was interesting. And I bought this apron at a souvenir place, because you gotta. I mean, I'm a chef and I'm a cook, and what else better for me than an apron? I got a collection of aprons. So anytime I cook some Latin or Puerto Rican food, so today I'm in honor of today. There's the Dominican Day Parade was in Manhattan. They had one in the Grand Concourse in the Bronx, which didn't turn out too good. And they had one here so in honor of the Dominicans and Dominican friends that I have and Dominican friends that I've worked with, I'm making this dish. Now I don't think it's typically Dominican, but Dominicans, you go to a lot of Dominican restaurants and you see what they call Chicarron de Pollo. It's basically chunks of chicken, sometimes boneless, but I don't like the boneless. You gotta have that bone in it so the meat is juicy. So anyway, they take pieces of bone, mostly thighs and legs chopped up, and they just chop it up in little pieces and they fry it twice. They double fry it in order to get it nice and crispy. And that crispiness is what, hence the name Chicharron de Pollo. So that's what I'm doing today, Chicharron de Pollo. And if you watch the video, you'll see how I'm doing it. My camera seems to be acting up. It dims, it goes. I hope you see it clear. So anyway, because it lights up, it gets dark. I don't know. Maybe it's the. Okay, there you go. So anyway, I have a bunch of chunks of chicken, but this dish, I'm gonna have some fried plantains with it, some maduros, and I have to make this. It's a little what they call mojito, which is it's like a garlic sauce that you use for the plantain and you use for the chicken as well. So I am, let me show you what I'm talking about. So I have a bunch of garlic here, okay, and I am going to run it through my little food processor here. My mother gave me this food processor, and I'm going to run it in here, and I'm going to make my little my sauce, my garlic sauce. So I'm going to go to a commercial break. And I am going to cut this up, and I'll show you when I come back. Okay, folks, so I'm going to start pretty soon frying up my chicken. So I got a bunch of flour here. I seasoned my flour. I put some garlic powder in there, and then you put some salt. About half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put some pepper in there. I want to season the flour, and the reason for that is the flour. When you put something in the flour, it actually loses flavor. And it soaks up, the flour soaks up the flavoring. So always season your flour. Put some salt, some pepper, garlic powder, whatever what's up to. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of baking powder, and this is only so it can help the flour fluff up as it's cooking. So the chicken goes in the flour, and then nothing fancy, just the flour, and then it's fried, okay? And that's what makes it a crunchy and a nice coating outside. So I'm going to let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now what I'm gonna do. Okay, just give me a second here. Okay. So I'm gonna season my chicken. I'm gonna start not breading that, but running the chicken through the flour, putting it on this see-through thing, whatever you call this, and so that it can the excessive flour can go to the bottom. Okay, so let's try this. So let's try the first piece of chicken. This chicken has been seasoning for a couple hours, so nothing fancy. Just put it in, okay, and just make sure it's coated. And there you go. Shake off the excessive flour and pass it on to that. There you go. Want to see it again? There we go. So the flour, okay. And sometimes I put this in a bag, but not today. I don't want to put. I want to make sure that I get each piece individual, nice and even. So we're not gonna put this in a bag. I usually throw all my chicken wings in a bag and with flour and all that stuff. But today we're gonna do it a bit different. We're gonna individually coat each piece, and it's gonna take a little while. I got about 20 pieces of chicken here, but it's worth it. Okay. And we're gonna double fry these. Like I said in yesterday's video, I did my study on this, and a lot of the recipes called for double frying at different temperatures. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to fry it at 325 until they look like they're halfway done. And I'm going to take them out, let them cool down, and then I'm going to throw everything back into my pan and fry it again at about 350 to 400 degrees, and hence causing the crunchiness in the chicken. So let's see, let's see if that works. Okay. So folks, you see I coated my chicken with the flour, and I have it, and I'm just shaking it around, get rid of that excessive flour, because that flour is gonna burn in the pan. It's gonna turn the oil black. So make sure that the excessive flour, you brush it off. Okay, folks, so now we are going, these are plantains. They're from the family, I guess, of the bananas, but they're plantains, they're plátanos, okay? And when they ripen up, they turn yellow, but you still can't eat them when you have to cook them. They're called maduros when they turn yellow, okay? So it's the same thing when they turn yellow. Unlike the banana, when it's green, it turns yellow, you can eat of course, yellow bananas. But these things, when they turn yellow, you still can't eat them raw. You have to cook them. So these are when they're green. That means unripened. And these are tostones. Now these are kind of small. I usually guide like these big ones, and I make this thing called tostones, which is they're sliced in and they're smashed and fried, and they're nice and crispy, and you eat it with garlic. So anyway, I was able to go to the supermarket, and this is what I was able to get: is small plantains. They're not as big as I usually buy them, real long, and So these are kind of small. So I'm going to do my best in peeling these, and let me show you in case you've never peeled a plantain. I'll show you. So basically, very easy. Okay. You cut the tips off. Okay. So cut the tip off. Okay. There you go. And then make a slit, not too deep to cut into the meat of the plantain, but just to get the skin. And if you cut into the plantain, it's no big deal. Just try and avoid as much as. And then you open it up. Now, if you have problems opening this up, you can always run it underneath warm water or hot water, and it'll help you peel. But this, I'm using a knife that's like a butter knife, and it's not sharp at all. And then you peel it with your hand, okay? I'm just having a little bit of problem peeling it because my thumb, I'm going for surgery on my thumb, and my thumb is shot. Don't have any strength on my thumb that much. So I'm doing the best I can. There we go. Turn this around. Ew. It hurts as hell. Ooh, can't put pressure on my thumb. But anyway, there you go. There you go. Okay. So usually it peels right off. There you go. Look at that. Okay, look at that. So there goes out. So these are kind of small. I like the big, long, but I'm gonna do the best way I can with these. So I'm gonna cut them up in thick sections. So when I smash them, they're big. So let's cut them in thick sections. There you go. And we do this. Okay. So what I do, I put them into a bowl, and I'm gonna put some salt water and let them soak the salt water in there, because these things they're kind of bland. So you got to get some flavor. But usually when people eat it, they put salt on them and to give it some flavor. So yeah, so I'm gonna peel the second one so I can show you, and then we're gonna go start frying the meat, because we gotta start doing this, right? Now this one here is kind of yellow. You see how soft it is? So this is ripened. So this is not good to make those donuts. So you gotta put that to the side. Okay. Let's see. Okay, folks. So I am going to start cooking this at 325. So I got my trusty thermometer here, And I'm gonna cook it, making sure that it's only 325 degrees. Now I'm gonna cook it the first time, take it out, and then the second time around, I'm gonna cook it about 350 to 400 degrees, and hopefully achieve that crunchiness that I'm looking for. So here we go. So just put that there, and wait till it gets to 325. So it's very important that you have the temperature up high. So when you put the pieces of chicken there, they start to fry right away. They don't soak up any of the oil. So right now it's only 141 and climbing. So make sure it's 325. Always make sure your oil is nice and hot. If not, what you throw in there, it's going to soak up the oil and it's going to taste nasty, and it's going to soften up whatever it is, and it's not going to fry right. It's a bunch of food science involved. Make sure it's at a high temperature. So I'm using the cast iron skillet. I was going to deep fry these, but I think the cast iron skillet holds a higher temperature and cooks at a very high temperature and doesn't burn. So I'm like I said, I'm waiting for this to climb up to 325, and when it goes to 325, I am going to start putting my chicken in. Now what happens is when you put the chicken in, the temperature will drop. So keep the thermometer in there as much as you can, and to maintain that temperature, you have to maintain 325. So I'm gonna put the chicken around it, keep the thermometer probe in there, and make sure that it maintains at 325, which is a little bit hard, but you might have to raise the temperature, but just make sure that you have it at 325 consistent, though, so it fries up the way you wanted it to. Okay, so let me get this other thing up here. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna put that to the side there, and like I said, it's going up to, right now it's 185 and climbing. So it's got a long way to go to 325. As soon as 325, I'm gonna drop my chicken in. Okay, still climbing. It's 234. I'm looking at 325, and it's still climbing, and it's gonna get nice and hot. So when I put this chicken in, drop this chicken in, it's gonna start to fry right away, quickly. It won't get a chance to get soggy or anything like that. And then I'm gonna take it, put it to the side, and then start frying up my other pieces, put it to the side. And when all my chicken is done, and then I'm gonna return it, I'm gonna raise the temperature maybe 375 to 400. Fry it quickly, take it out, and it should be done. Okay. Okay, this is taking a little bit more than what I thought it would, but it's getting up there. It's 284 degrees, so I'm looking at 325, and it's starting to sizzle, and it looks like it's gonna get there. 289, 290. Oh, we're almost there. So at 325, I'm gonna start dropping this, and I'm gonna maintain the temperature, because as soon as you drop whatever you're frying, the temperature drops, because that's what it does. It's food science. But as soon as I drop in and it starts to drop below 325, I'm going to give it more heat to maintain more or less that 325. I won't be perfect, but the closest possible to 325. It just reached 300, folks, and we're almost there. We're almost there. So we're almost at 325. We're almost at 325. 306. 307, yeah, we're getting there. Okay, folks, so now I just went to 326. Let's start putting our chicken in. Oh, look at that. Okay. Let's drop it in. It's 327 now. It's holding. It's going up to 328, 331. But it's going to drop because as soon as the food goes in there, it starts to drop now. It's 3. Okay, so there it goes. Now it's 315. Okay. So I'm going to raise the temperature a bit here to maintain that temperature, 325. Okay. My skin came off. Okay. There we go, look at that. Okay. Ooh. Looking good, looking good. Okay, 309. Now see, the temperature dropped. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to raise up the temperature a little bit more so they can maintain 325, okay? So the temperature right now is dropping, and I just raised it so it can go back up. So remember not to overcrowd the pan where you're frying, and it's maintaining. It's 291. It should be up a little bit higher, but nevertheless, it's frying up real nicely. I'm going to move it around a little while, and then it's going back up to 291. So it's dropped a bit, but that's the temperature average that I want to keep it at. Folks, it's frying. I've do not move these things around. If you start to move them around, the coating is going to come off. So don't be moving them around constantly, okay? I'm waiting right now to evenly coat and evenly cook. And when it's evenly cooked, then I can move them around. But just make sure that it's cooked. If you start moving around, that's when you start losing your flour and it comes off in chunks and it burns in the pot. So don't move it around. There's no reason to be. This is not a a cement mixer. This is a pan, and you cook the food first, then move it around. Okay? There's certain foods you have to stir. Like stir fry. This is not stir fry. This is frying, and leave it alone until it looks like it's all cooked. Then you can flip it. Okay? Please. So, folks, as you see, I have my chicken here. I took it out, fried it once. It's resting, taking a nap, and I'm frying up my yellow plantains, my doodles now. I'm gonna put those, take them out, put them to the side, put them in the oven, keep them warm, and then I'm gonna return my chicken into the oil to double fry them again, and then they'll be done. And then I gotta do my plantains. Okay, so stand by. So, folks, this is the second fry. I fried it once, I let them settle down, and now I'm doing my second fry. And this will be it. And I'm going to keep these warm in the oven, and then I'm going to start frying my yellow plantains. I have my yellow plantains already. I'm going to start frying my tostones, the green plantains. So stay tuned. So, folks, now it's time for my green plantains. My green plantains, I have to fry them twice as well. Because you have to fry them until they get nice and crispy on the outside, and then you got to use one of these mashers. You can use a knife, you can use a plate. But I got this fancy dancy little thing that I bought in the 99-cent store, and it smashes the plantain, then you throw them back inside, you fry them up, and then you serve them. So dinner's gonna be ready in give me about 10 minutes. I'm gonna be at the table in about 10 minutes. I'm telling you, you're gonna see how nice it looks. So, folks, this is what we do. We take the plantains and we smash them in the smasher here. We go down. Look at that, and then we fry them again. Okay. And another one. We smash them, and then we put them back in the grease, in the oil. Let's get one here. There goes the other one. Okay, just stand out there. Smash it down. And there you go. And I think all of them are done. Oh, this one here, trying to get away from being smashed. Hey, sit it down right there. There you go. A little mini one. And then we're going to fry these up. And these are all smashed and fried and ready to go. Couple more minutes. They'll be nice and toasty, and we're going to the table. Okay, folks, so the food is done. We're going to go to the table right away because we don't want this to get cold. And meet us at the table because it looks good. So, folks, we're at the table, and what we did here today is a dish that's you find it in Latino restaurants. You find it in Puerto Rican restaurants, but you also find it in Dominican. The Dominicans always talk about Chicarron and Pollo Chicarron. So today was they had their parade, the Dominican parade. They had it a couple weeks ago in the Bronx. Didn't turn out too good. And this one so far I haven't had any news in Manhattan. I hope they behaved. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, to stay in a little bit of a theme, I did Chicarron de Pollo for the Dominican. But it is a Latino dish. Puerto Ricans eat it, Cubans eat it, and I guess a lot of Latino countries eat it. And what it is just pieces of chicken, small pieces. I got a few pieces that were kind of big, but most of them were small. And I fried them twice to get them nice and crispy, and hence the name Chicarron, which means skin of pork or skin of chicken. That's the Chicarron, the skin. I guess my skin is Chicarron too. I burned myself, right? But that's what Chicarron, that's what the word means. Chicarron is means the skin nice and fried. So this is the chicken nice and fried. We have some yellow plantains. They're called maduros. You see them in a lot of restaurants. And we have tostones, which is the green version. It's the same thing. One is ripened, one is not, and that's the difference. When they ripen, they get nice and sweet. I like them also. I really do. But I like them real mushy. But I have today the green plantains, the plátanos, the tostones, whatever you want to call it. And those are eaten when you put some salt, a lot of garlic on it, and it gives it a nice flavor. So we have some garlic sauce that I created, and I'll show you in a minute the garlic sauce. And we need a spoon for this. Okay. So the garlic sauce I'm going to show you. And I made it with with garlic, of course, and some lime juice, some vinegar, some oil, and some secret ingredients that I can't tell you. But it tastes real good. It really does. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera on and show you how it looks because it looks delicious. Let's start off with there goes the garlic sauce. Look at this. Ooh, look at that. Nice, fresh garlic. Okay, and there goes the main course. Look at this. You go to a restaurant, you pay about $20 for a plate like this. Because things are very expensive at a restaurant now. And you go there, goes along with them. So yeah, things are very expensive nowadays. This plate used to cost maybe $4 or $5, and it costs you about 20 nowadays. Everything's. I went shopping for a few things for dinner. 2 shopping bags at $71. We went to another supermarket the other day. 1 bag, 1 little square bag, $91. So food is expensive. It's the biggest in this household. It's one of the biggest expenses. It really is. It's we eat good, and hey, you gotta eat good. You gotta. I always say you don't. Some people go, I wouldn't go to a restaurant and pay $40 for a steak. Well, you know what? I would. You know why? Because that's the only thing I'm going to take with me when I die. The good stuff and the good food. And you want to eat good, you eat good. You give yourself a treat once in a while. It's your birthday, anniversary, special occasion. You eat good. What the hell? I'm not going to tell you to go eat a $40 steak every day, but once in a while you deserve it. And some people just cheap. I talk to my old friends outside, and they think I'm nuts by going to a restaurant and eating. But that's they're old-fashioned. Jibaros, what they call them. They're old-fashioned, and they don't know what going into a restaurant and eating. When they go to a restaurant, they eat a pepper steak, and they think that they're really eating steak. I told them today, I said that's fake ass steak. Pepper steak is not. I'm talking about a bone, T-bone. Big steak, 2-inch steak. That's a steak, not pepper steak. Come on, pepper steak. I've eaten pepper steak. I'm not saying that. I've eaten pepper steak. My mother used to make pepper steak when I was little. I liked it, but when I opened up my eyes and found out what steak was, I haven't turned back. So anyway, but that's just us. I mean, just for each his own. You eat what you could afford. Tell you, special occasions, you gotta go out. You gotta go out and take your loved one, and you gotta go out and eat. Eat good. I mean, you see the dishes we eat every day. We eat good. This is the day there's no, we can't eat good. We won't eat good. But while we could, we eat. So anyway, folks, let me try this out. Let me try to check one of these pieces of chicken. It looks real great with the garlic. Let me turn the camera down. Look at that. Ooh. So let me try one of these pieces of chicken. Like I said, I fried these twice. That's one of the recipes I looked at. One recipe just called it fried once. I thought that's what, but I fried it double twice because I just wanted to see what's the difference. A lot of it I can taste the difference is that it's crispy on the outside. Imagine juicy on the inside. You hear that crunch? And that's the Chicarron de Pollo. Well, folks, there you got it. Sunday. No chicken wings today, but I'll have chicken. And we'll see what happens during the week. What we got planned. It's my job to plan the food, dinner, and think about it the night before. And if I'm not sure how to cook it, I study it. And I do my homework at night till 3 or 4 in the morning. That's what I'm doing. Last night I couldn't calm down. Last night they were having a party. And I've never seen nothing in my life. It looked like a concert. The cops are scared. I'm not going to get into that, but the cops are scared of people nowadays because of all this stuff that went on. But it's a shame. I mean, I was young once. Still am young. But, you got to have some consideration, especially when you're partying in front of somebody's building and playing dice. I hanged out and we used to just smoke, either smoke or drink beers or whatever that was. But, I never, hanging out, never stopped to play dice. If there was a dice game, there was a dice game. But we hanged out and talked and joked around. There was no time for the dice games. When it was time to play dice, we played dice. I played dice. I shoot dice in the street. Hey, I'm not going to deny it. But anyway, I don't know. It's today's generation. I can go on forever and talk about this. Anyway, folks, there you got it. Chicarron and Pollo with Platinums, Maduros, and green ones. And I love you guys, and watch my videos, please, on YouTube and all that good stuff. Um, Enjoy your Sunday. Sunday tonight is a day of rest. I'm retired, so every day is a day of rest for me. But for some reason, Sunday's like, oh, the weekend is over. I don't know. Mentally, I'm still stuck in the when I'm working. But Sundays is a night to relax, watch TV. I watch some old classic TV, and I go to sleep. I pop a pill, and I go to sleep at 3, 4 in the morning. What the hell? I wake up tomorrow and another day. God bless you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.